Hi, Collective. We're going to do a quick reading. I wanted to do a collective reading right now because of service and everything. I'm not doing individual readings. I'm going to just be uploading collective readings until I get things figured out. I'm still reconfiguring. I'm configuring my space because when I left, I was working up until the morning that I closed on my house, which meant that I had to be completely out with all 4 dogs and everything. So I packed everything up, didn't go to sleep that night, and then I hit the road right afterwards. So it was just kind of a whirlwind, and I overpacked. So I just kind of bagged everything up and threw it in and ended up throwing a lot of stuff away. It was a cluster fudge on the 6th. And then I made it to Arizona on the 12th, I believe. Yeah, it feels like I've been here a long time already. But yeah, it's moving kind of quickly. And so I wanted to do a reading for the full moon, the blood moon. How did everybody handle that? What's going on in everybody's energy? Do you have a hermit placement or a Virgo placements? I feel like our hermit mode is being tested. We're all being tested by and challenged by Virgo energy and the hermit. Also the magician, right? It's when you are, which is mercurial, it's the throat chakra, so it's how we manifest, it's how we speak our truth into existence, how we become divine alchemists of our reality. And we have to go within and figure out, what am I doing in here that's making all this happen? And why am I attracting this? And so we have to be very accountable and honest with ourselves at this point and go, okay, well, if I see bullshit around me, that means I'm calling in bullshit, right? So yeah, that's the challenge for me as a bull, which Taurus is also the Hierophant, ruled by the throat chakra. It is also the masculine counterpart to the High Priestess, which we are in Pisces season. So those are the ones who channel and translate from the 5D to the 3D, which is what alchemy is about. That's creating from our celestial source into our terrestrial existence and reality. So I only have one of my decks up here, and I'm doing it in the front seat of my van, obviously, on a Mancala board. So we're gonna just see how it goes. I've been feeling really challenged and simultaneously very connected and disconnected. So yeah, what placements do you have? What challenges are you undergoing during this full moon? Hope you guys can hear me and see me well enough. I have my window blockers on. My hater blockers on. I got my hater blockers on. I got my window blockers up. But if the light is on in here, then, other people could see through them. Or maybe that's just my thought. Yeah, it's a little bit busier here than I would like. But I am here to kind of link up with some fellow nomads, and then get the word of mouth about where to go, because that's where you get it. I don't like Googling stuff because that's going to tell me where the touristy shit is at, and I don't want to go to that stuff. So, but I also, I have the heat on. If you guys have been following me, you know I fucking hate cold. And I came to the dry desert thinking, dry heat. And it's been rainy and gray windy as fuck, and very cold. I mean, in the 50s, but like desert, windy, cold. It's just directly at you. It feels a lot colder to me. I'm just not a fan. So, I'm in here in my heat, and so I hope you guys can hear me. The end. All right, so we have the King of Swords at the center here. The King of Swords is somebody who is very diplomatic and in control of their thoughts, discerning about what thoughts come into their space and what they say, what they speak into existence, which is very important at this time of becoming a divine alchemist, right? And being challenged in that area. It's, our thoughts become our words, become our beliefs, right? So if we are, if we're just allowing things to come into our space all willy-nilly, and we're being challenged, right? Because the closer you get to God, the closer the devil gets to you. The closer that you get to divine alchemy on your path, the closer the lower vibrational forces that be, whatever you call them, are going to try and creep in and deter you from that and distract you from that and call you back to lower frequencies that you have been to already, right? So this is where like past thoughts, past truths, which are all, they might be somebody else's truth, but they're your lie, right? Because truth is relative to the individual, right? Your reality is your truth, whether it's a high divine truth or a low demonic truth or shadows is where we decide this. We go as the King of Swords. And if you're looking for love, you might be dealing with an air sign. You might be an air sign. This is masculine energy. So this is somebody who actively pays attention to what's coming into their intellectual space and what they're sending out. And it's going to be balanced, right? They have two swords here, right? Which is a balance thing. They're very decisive. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is working on your... Pentacles represent health and wealth, right? So this is maybe working on your physical body. This is working on your bank account. This is working on tangible things that you can see and touch in the real world. And kind of tinkering away through the night. You might be working night shift or just working long hours. This is like burning the midnight oil. Okay, this is actively deciding this is the thing I want to work on. You could be launching a new project. Ooh, it just got warm in here. You could be a fire sign and be dealing with a fire sign, but cardinal energy, or be a cardinal sign, which is fire as well, as a modality. That is the leader of the pack. Vroom, vroom. That's the one who is active. Fire is the most masculine of the elements, the most distinctly masculine of the elements. Earth being the most distinctly feminine, and then water and air being the ones that are kind of androgynous in between, because they move with the current, the unseen. So there's a 5D quality to them, but air is more masculine leaning and water is more feminine leaning. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So there's the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Sevens are all about choices, having a lot of opportunities. So this is choosing, this King of Swords is choosing between opportunities, right? Pentacles. This could be new jobs. This could be moving your house. This could be ways that you want to improve your, with the King of Swords, could be your mind, your body, right? And aligning the things that maybe you've been overthinking or that you've been contemplating, planning, maybe journaling, just ruminating on for maybe a long time. And you're bringing them into action. 8's the number of cycles. So this is a new cycle for you. This is you saying, I'm done with all of the, because a 7 can be sort of being ambiguous about what you're not as discerning, right? Because you have so many options. It's kind of, there's sort of a frenzy with the 7s where it's like, I've got a lot of things going on, a lot of opportunities. So if you're dating or if you're trying to call in love, you have a lot of suitors and a lot of offers, right? Pentacles are about offers as well. So you could be having a lot of offers come in. You could be getting a lot of job offers. And so it's kind of, and maybe you do something with like health and fitness, right? So you could be working with a lot of people, but 8 is the number of self and cycle. So it's like you are choosing yourself. You might be realizing, you know what, I can't pour from an empty cup. Or if I'm going to be somebody who's giving advice or helping others, I need to make sure that my shit is straight and balanced. So 7 is not an even number, and 8 is. So this is like bringing a balance to your real world, your pentacle world, right? We have the 4 of Pentacles here. This kind of gives me pre-emperor energy, right? This is somebody who just is sitting back and waiting for the right offer, waiting for the right thing. Like, you're working on yourself. And so if you are concerned with love, because I do a lot of love readings, if you are concerned with love, this is getting those offers and waiting for the one that is balanced. And so this is kind of like, I'm good in my space. I'm good. I'm balanced. I'm my health and my wealth. Like, I'm just taking care of me. And this person's sitting back. They're very dapper. You could be very well dressed, into style, or maybe you're attracting a masculine that is that way. And then we have the Fool and the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is the agape love. It's soulmate energy. It's attracting. See, we have like, as divine alchemists, when we do the work on the physical, it like attracts like, right? So if we work on ourselves, we work on our money, right? It's all energy. So if you work on your finances, if you work on your business, if you work on your body, your mind, your butt, and you start to balance that, you're going to call in everything else. Like, it all mirrors itself. Have you ever noticed, like, if your work life is going shitty, your love life's going shitty, it all kind of hits in the same way. So if you're flowing in one aspect, it's going to start opening doors and bringing a flow into other aspects of your life. So it's like, maybe you've just been very work focused, right? Working on your body, working on your health, working on your money. I gotta shift here, my legs falling asleep. So you could just be working on me, myself, and I, solo ride until I die as the Fool. Maybe you've had doubts about this particular offer with the 4 of Pentacles. You've just really been holding on to, there's a bit of a hoarding thing there, right? So you could have been single for a long time, or and I also get entrepreneur here. So you could have been working for other people for a long time. Maybe you dealt with like a non-compete situation, or there was a lull in your work life where you had to kind of wait before you could launch this project, this 8 of Pentacles project, this new cycle of reality that you've been working on. And so maybe you haven't even had love on the brain, but love has been there, and it's been waiting for you to get to that place where you go, I love me, I choose me, because the 4 of Pentacles is choosing yourself. And the 6 of Cups over the 7 of Pentacles here, to clarify that, is like the 7 of Cups, if you correlate these numbers to their element, the 7 of Cups is like Libra energy, right? It's the fun and fancy free, it's dating a lot of people, it's taking on all the opportunities. It's very much the jovial self-discovery. I'm trying to figure out what brings me emotional fulfillment. And so it's like you've been crafting something in each area. It's almost like you've been exploring different areas of yourself, of your reality. You could be a late bloomer, right? Or someone who just likes to try a lot of things, right? Maybe, you need to take the scenic route, right? You kind of have to learn for yourself. So maybe you've had to learn the hard way what works for you and what doesn't, what resonates for you, what fulfills you. And the lesson for you was to come into this place of, I love myself, I choose myself, agape love. And once you get into that frequency, right, divine union is based on a frequency. Divine timing is a frequency. It's not something on a calendar or a clock. You can't measure it in any way. Yeah, we got Judgment here. There's a lot about bringing into balance. Like, this is Judgment Day for you. This is, and it is for the collective, right? This is calling in all of the opportunities, sifting through them, almost like gold mining. And I'm in a mining area, so maybe I got gold on the brain here. But it is like you are sifting through the bullshit. Like, you're sifting through what works for you, what's valuable to you. Value is an important word here. So maybe you just maybe you were into casual connections. Maybe you were just kind of trying odd jobs, but none of them brought you any value. None of them brought you that thing that you've been looking for, that intangible sense of self-fulfillment. And then we have the Fool with this Eight of Pentacles. So whatever you're launching into, whatever new cycle you're launching, it is like you are launching with the Fool. You are just shooting off, what is that, Pocahontas, where she's like, and she dives off and her friend's like, wait, and she just, is that the movie? Could be Tarzan, maybe something with Disney movies, animation, very animated. You could be a very animated communicator as well. Maybe you're doing something with art, or film, or videos, something with like digital creativity. That's specific, but yeah, we're like, no, and then they leap off. It also reminds me of the movie Legend. That's a throwback, but with Tom Cruise, Cancer energy, where there's just this leap of faith, and they're all diving in. They're diving for love. They're all diving for love. What's Tarzan diving for? I don't remember. Is he going? Did somebody drop something? Maybe there's something with jewelry. Also with the gold, there could be something, maybe you wear something, or your person wears something, also with all the pentacles and gold. It's like there's something of value in the water. So this love situation, this cups, is also linked to your finances. So you could be coming into, which divine union does often link the two, right? It's your divine calling, what you're meant to do it's not even a career, it's your calling. It's what you're meant to do, but it's also what brings you financial abundance and stability and all of those tangible, masculine 3D things. But it's like you have to dive into the 5D, you have to dive into the water, you have to dive into the unknown, into the depths. That's also hermit energy. It's like you really have to go deep down into the darkness to find that shiny, valuable thing that has been dropped at the bottom of this water. So yeah, you could have water placements, maybe check your moon sign, and there could be lessons in there. The Fool is Aquarius and Aries. What else do we have? King of Swords. Those are the major arcana. And then Judgment can be, I was getting Libra energy from that, but Judgment can also be like Mars, which is more Aries energy. Aries is the leader of the pack. And I was getting that pre-emperor, so with the Fool, they are the emperor and the Fool. So you could be dealing with an Aries, have an Aries placement. That's the entrepreneur, that's the business go-getter. That's the one who goes after what the hell they want, and they're not going to stop until they get it. So there's somebody who's diving in. A masculine is taking a leap of faith and diving in. And so if you're the feminine, you could be receiving some sort of offer in work or, I don't want to say business. It feels deeper than that. I mean, with the word, it's valuable, it's deep, it's not just like a job. It's not a job. It's like I just almost spilled the cards everywhere. Y'all almost saw me get pissed off. It's a calling. It's a passion pursuit. It's your work. It is like the all the work that you've done in the 5D, all the shadow work that you've done, all the dream work that you've done, manifestation journaling, affirmations, all of that, it's linked, right? Any restraints, any type of spiritual practices, sobriety, any of those things that are like temperance energy, that's Sagittarius, it's all of that work that builds your faith is, something with the throat chakra. Yes, somebody does not want you to do this. The shadows that be, they don't want you to do this. It's like you're so close to this highest frequency that you're going to be on. I was trying to get my water, but it's kind of like, it's a thing. It's all like playing Tetris in here to get one thing. It's so, hopefully my throat just kind of hangs in there. Not today, Satan. So it's like everything that you've done, everything that you've worked for, and people might have asked you, like, what do you do for work? And you're like, I'm living, man. Like, I'm just doing it. And you've kind of known that you were doing this work in your spiritual body, in your emotional body. You've been doing this work of the 5D of the feminine. And maybe a lot of people just looked at you like you were a fool and like you were an idiot and like you need to go to work. You need to earn more money. You need to like get with it. You need to grow up and settle down or whatever. And it's like, it's not even like that. I'm doing this because this is what my divine sight has told me. This is what my knowing that you have has told you, in not any distinct term, but it's just something that you've always known as your truth, that everything I'm doing, every step that I'm taking is for this thing, for this love, for this work that we are going to do together to raise the consciousness of the collective. Like, this work is so linked to your spiritual calling. It's all been part of it. Yeah, because we have the 6 of Wands here. This is self-recognition. I am getting this sort of, not like a ha-ha told you so, but there is a vindication here. That everyone who doubted you or everyone who talked shit about you, all the hater blockers, it's like you've had a lot of hate for this or a lot of judgment. We've had judgment at the bottom here. It's like you've had a lot of judgment from this, maybe from those closest to you. And it's like you've never had anybody believe in you. And this person, this thing that you are attracting by keeping that tempered faith, right? Like, we temper things to make them stronger. We apply a certain amount of stress to our bones to build bones, right? To build that strength. So more Leo energy, or maybe, actually, I don't know if I had Leo energy, but maybe Leo energy here. But again, more fire, lots of fire, because it got hot in here pretty quick. And I'm a wiener, so I'm usually just cold even when the heat's on. So, yeah, the energy is very heated. It's very active. It's very masculine. It's unstoppable. And there's a bit of vindication here with the 6 of Wands, like a self-recognition. And maybe you've doubted this along the way. I mean, that's part of the process where you doubt, am I crazy? Like, I've been doing this for a long time and I really believe that this person is coming in, or I believe that I'm going to meet them. I believe that everything's going to align and I'm going to find my people or the place that I'm going to do this work. And yet, I'm not so sure, like that's part of it, is being tested and having doubts, but there's this you like, excuse me, and I was going to say the swords, like we apply heat to metal to make it stronger. So there's something about being fortified. Also with the bones fortified, something with like fortified. There could be some sort of vitamin and mineral, again, like getting your health, getting your mental. There could be some sort of deficiency that you've been getting a hold of to getting things that are fortified. Consuming fortified foods or whatever. If you're here, you might be vegan, and so maybe you're like getting fortified things for your B12. Or calcium. For many years before, I had vitamin D deficiency, iron deficiency, and I would take supplements and I would still have I was severely anemic at one point, as a vegetarian, and I was consuming a lot of dairy at that time. Hello. And then once I stopped, it was like, and I aligned with veganism, I suddenly didn't have that issue. And everything's fine. Like all my counts and everything are fine. My levels are fine. So there's my veganism plug for you guys. But there is like something about fortifying and bringing strength to yourself. And it's like anytime that you are on a path of sobriety or changing a cycle, it gets harder before it gets easier. So there is that temperance. Temperance is the Sagittarius energy, and it's the drawback, right? It's that tension in the bow that really offers the most accurate and hastened. I don't want to say hastened. I want to say expedited. You could be receiving some sort of package, right? Pentacles are a gift or an offering. So yeah, you could be receiving something in the mail. But there is overnight express. But it feels like whatever this is, it's going to happen all at once. It's going to be very fast. It's going to feel very fast. And that might kind of be a little unnerving for you, because I think that maybe you've been in this place, the drawback, where you've really been in isolation, doing the work by yourself. There could be a hyper independence to the way that you move and think. And that Four of Pentacles is kind of that hoarding energy. It's like, I'm going to keep what I have. I've worked my ass off for what I have, so I'm going to hold on to this for dear life. And so there is kind of that, you're so used to having this applied stress, but too much applied stress is how you can break bones, right? Or melt steel, right? So you don't want everything to go limp and lolly, right? Again, with like fortified, maybe, I don't mean to laugh, but there could be something with ED, there could be something with your sexual function, there could be some sort of deficiency. You could have been on all kinds of blood pressure medication or things like that, things that interrupted your sexual energy, which your sexual energy is your sacral chakra. It's your greatest source of creative energy, right? And so your creativity could have been blocked for a long time. And so it's like when this comes in, you could have been thinking about it for a long time, but envisioning it and been like, yeah, when it happens, it's going to be great. But now it's happening, and there's a little bit of a, when you are at the top of a, like when you're climbing up, what the fuck, why can't I think of the word? A roller coaster. When you're climbing, doing that climb, it's like, the anticipation, it's like, oh man, this is going to be so cool. Then you get to the top and it stops and it's like, oh my gosh. And then once you go, it's like, oh, your belly drops. It comes, it comes up into your throat. It drops and then comes up in your throat at the same time. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That drop. And it's like in dubstep, that drop, that shit is intense. But it's such a good intensity. So I feel like this is going to be fast, intense. But it's everything that you've been working for. And there is this sort of vindication and self-recognition and But I don't think you're gonna have to gloat about it. It's not something that you're gonna gloat about. 9 of Pentacles, yeah, that's independence. You've got a lot of Pentacles. Your money is looking good. So if you've been really stressed, maybe you've been really frugal with your money with that 4 of Pentacles. You've been saving for this thing. And that's, energy as well. So it's, Pentacles represent energy. It's just a tangible thing money is just a tangible thing that we've given to a sense of stability and balance and abundance. So it's all of those things. I think that maybe you've been kind of frugal, you've been saving, you've been holding back your energy, really focusing on yourself inward. And now it's like all of that's going to come out and it's going to be like, holy shit, they weren't crazy. And if they're crazy, I don't want to be sane, kind of thing. The High Priestess. You are, if you're the feminine, again, because we were talking about Taurus, the High Priest, the Hierophant, and the High Priestess. So there could be 2 very powerful, balanced divine masculine and feminine. I mean, obviously the divine union is that. The divine alchemists are the Emperor and the Empress. They are divine masculine, divine feminine, and we've got all that junk in us. We've got all the masculine, all the feminine, all the elements, all the modalities. We've got it all in us, right? When we reach that point of the divine alchemy. But this is someone who's kind of mysterious, so I think that you've been moving kind of in silence. You've been walking softly, carrying a big stick, that kind of thing. And the stick with wands, again, more fire energy, magic. You could be into the occult. I mean, you're here, so I think you got something with it. We got the 4 of Cups. So 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. Love and money is coming in. Because you've been giving it to yourself. And the Tower. This is big change. Don't be scared by the Tower. It's going to feel like that. The Tower of Terror. I get like the fairground. Maybe there's a fair going on. A fair, like a love affair. Hopefully all parties are open and divine and not, this isn't like some, Nicholas Sparks bullshit. These are people who are available, okay? There's no attachments here. You can't be attached or you're just going to be bungee cording, This is the jumping off point. Leaping off, and you're going to feel that belly flop. It's going to be such a thrill. But I think there's also going to be a little bit of a test to like, oh my gosh, maybe your self-worth is going to be checked. We have the Lovers here, so yeah, love. I feel like your self-worth is going to be checked a little bit. Your sort of, you had to believe in yourself to get to this point, but I think that your self-belief might be a little bit taken aback. Like, oh shit, I guess I really am worth it. I guess I really am. All of those affirmations I've been saying, all that work I've been doing on myself, they are true. Because a lot of times we just kind of have to sort of fake it till we make it, or just say the affirmations until they feel real. And I think that it's going to feel so real now because it's coming into your tangible reality that you're like, it works. Affirmations work. Manifestation works. Like, holy shit. I did believe it. You had to believe in it for it to come into fruition. But at the same time, it's like you're almost going to be checked. And so it might be a test. It might be a little bit of a test where there might be a little bit of doubt. You cannot manifest with fear in your heart. So I don't think that there's necessarily going to be a fear. There's like, it's more like a divine fear, if that makes sense. Like when you're in a roller coaster, it's going to be a fun ride, but you still have that, it's still going to be very exciting. And I feel like if it's new love, that's going to be so thrilling. I don't think that you're going to be doubting your worth, or in such a lack of trust. But you might it might be a bit overwhelming. There's a bit of like, oh shit, I did it. I did it. And you might be so used to the pressure and the chaos and the working under that environment that it's going to be a tower for you, because you're going to be changing your whole MO into a place of, oh, now I can actually continue my work in peace. And peace is the greatest threat to a child of chaos, right? So if you're used to chaos, if you are used to functioning in that environment of pressure and stress, and you're like, yeah, I'm very strong with that Leo and that strength energy. It's like you might be very strong, but at the same time, you've never been able to just be weak, right? And I don't mean weak like giving in to temptations or, lower vibrations or anything like that. I mean weak like trusting that somebody else is there to catch you when you take that leap of faith, or that you have people to rely on, or that, because it takes a vulnerability, and maybe you grew up in an environment where being vulnerable, being emotionally available, being honest, and all of those things that, society does not like, you were told that was weak, so there could be just a little bit, I feel like there could be a little bit of a test to that. But you're going to rise above it. Don't worry, obviously, you did it. You're doing it. It's like Hook. You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it. And it's like, you were kind of playing along, with the food fight scene. It's like you were kind of playing along, but then it actually happens and you get to see the food hit that face. And I get vindication. I don't get that it's not spiteful, but it is, I think, still going to be rewarding to go like to just sit back and have everybody else go, oh, you were right. So people might be actually coming around and telling you were right. People might be coming around and telling you, apologizing or making amends. And that could be part of the test, is that you may have people from the past, energies from the past, family members, or anybody that you've disconnected from and worked really hard. And you're going to have to use, with that King of Swords, you're going to have to use your own discernment to decide if that's an energy that you want to let back in or not. That's going to be, free will. That's your own judgment. But, with that King of Swords energy and that judgment, you're definitely going to have all the skills, you have all the knowledge that you need to make that decision. So just keep trusting yourself, keep that faith that all the work you've done is for a reason, and that it's coming together like this because you made it happen. And because you made it happen, you there's something with like, you deserve it. You deserve it. So it's not a false entitlement. It doesn't mean that there's not an arrogance or anything. It's a confidence that I deserve this, I've earned this, I've done the work for it. And all of those lies that told me I was not worthy of it, told me that I was crazy, that I was whatever, those might try to leak back in. Anyone who didn't support you on the journey that tries to just come back in now that you've made it, again, free will, but free will. But I wouldn't. Like, if you haven't been on the ride with me, then you don't get to just come in now that the proof is in the pudding, right? Fuck that. So, again, free will. But you're going to be tested. There's going to be challenges. There's big change coming, and it's going to happen all at once. It's going to happen all at once, and it's going to be like, holy shit. I'm kind of an amazing, abundant creator. And I've been telling myself that, but I don't know that you've fully Like believing, when you manifest, believing is seeing, right? Whereas we, as our egos, like to see before it believes. But manifesting is believing it before you see it. But then when you see it, you're kind of like, oh shit, I guess I did believe it. So I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but there's going to be something with that. So yeah, I want everyone that does struggle with that and is challenged with that to just remember who you are. Again, more with Leo energy, the 8, something with August maybe. If that's not your sign or you don't have a placement, you could be dealing with that. But that's strength. It's the heart chakra. This is the center of your being. This is your truth, your knowing. This is your source, right? Is your also the sun is associated with Leo, and that is the creation. Like this is your divine creation. This is what you've done the work for. So sit and revel in that abundance, and it's all sorted, right? Everyone's karmic cycles. If anybody tried to hold you back or really did you dirty on this path, everyone's going to get their own karma. You don't need to worry about that, right? That's not your concern. That all comes out in the wash, so to speak. So, okay. I think that's it, collective. Hopefully there was something in here for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, your patience through this process. And yeah, everything you need to know. If you want to further support this space is in the description box below or in the comments below, depending on where I post this, depending on where the connection will let me post it. So thank you. And until next time, I wish you well.